Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's Sunday, October 30th, 2016. We're looking at a screenshot from the front page of CNN.com today. The story is full email access sought. Breaking news: Department of Justice working to get approval to search Huma Abedin's email. In case you haven't been following the news, this past Friday, the FBI reopened the investigation into Hillary's email because they found an email connecting her to Huma Abedin, her former aide. This woman, Huma, was married to Anthony Weiner, the disgraced congressman from 2011 out of New York. He was guilty of having incriminating texts and I think messages on his computer, email as well, having to do with sexual misconduct. Then this past summer, he made headlines again for sexting a minor. Out of that story came this woman divorcing him. That was a mainstream news story for a day. She was divorcing Anthony Weiner. Donald Trump said, look at that. Hillary Clinton hired a woman that was married to a pervert. You know, what kills me is people get sucked into these narratives and they start picking sides. All of this stuff is ridiculous. We are a nation that, as a people, are suffering from real problems. We've been lied to. We've been stolen from. We've been deceived. You know, our politicians are selling us out every day. It's way bigger than Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. And the mind's eye of the masses right now, it's stuck on two things: Hillary Clinton's emails and Donald Trump's, crude remarks, the recordings, and all the piggish things that he said in the past year. None of these things really have any relevance to our lives. They tell us that the two people, one of which is about to be the next president, don't have the qualities or characteristics to be the president, which is concerning itself. But look, people are choosing sides. They're saying this is good enough. They're deciding which person they hate more. And it's all over mainstream media propaganda and tabloid news. I mean, think about it. 33 days before the election, a recording of Trump from a bus with Billy Bush. 33 days before the election when the recording's 11 years old. This coming up right at the last second. These emails have been in existence. They haven't told us if these emails are from this summer, what happened, or from the 2011 incident. But either way, the emails have been out there during the time the FBI was investigating, It's just all such a contrived narrative. It's all such a show. So anyway, the point of this video is to answer the question, why is Gematria important? People keep writing me saying, okay, I'm checking out your videos. They're interesting, but I still don't understand why Gematria is important. So let's look. This is today's headline: full email access sought. In Gematria, it sums to the exact same thing as Hillary Rodham Clinton, who is the focus of the story. On my blog, throughout the year, I've been documenting 231 coded in the headlines in regards to Hillary Clinton. Today's headline is nothing new. Also, today's date with regards to email, October 30th. 10 plus 30 is 40. The word email in Gematria is 40. The name Hillary is 40. This is why the whole story is centered around Hillary and her email. The people who make news, they make it by the numbers, which is why Gematria is important, which is what we're getting to. United States also equals 40, important numbers to the nation. When you write out the word 40, it sums to 84. That's interesting because today's a Sunday. Sunday equals 84, like Jesuit, the secret society within the Catholic Church that made the Christian day of worship Sunday. United States of America equals 84. Think about how United States is 40. 40 connects to 84. United States of America, 84, like Revolutionary War, like the Twilight Zone, like the name Serling. Rod Serling wrote the Twilight Zone. It's a nation of laws made by lawyers who were Freemasons, largely Jewish. Lawyer equals 84. Gematria, a Jewish practice. So anyway, why is Gematria important? It gives you extra eyes to see. If you can recognize that these headlines are being coded, the next question is, well, why are they doing it? So let's get to that. This is why Gematria is important. The people who control media worldwide are Jewish Zionists. They have a stranglehold on the media of the world. And the reason that is because in time, following history's timeline, once upon a time, world banking, and still today, became controlled by Jewish people who now identify as Zionists. So Jewish bankers, because they controlled money, they've always had an interest in making and controlling more money. To stimulate money, you have to have economies, industry. Once upon a time, the people who controlled the money supply, they realized, look, if you have papers, if you have media, if you have news, if you control the flow of information, you can steer the way people spend their money. This is what the original news was created for, to steer people largely for consumption. So it's all an evolution. Banking, consumerism, media. All throughout this time, it's been Jewish people controlling it. And no matter where you read, no matter where you do your homework, the answers are going to lead to the same place. Jewish Zionists are controlling your banking, they're controlling your media, they're controlling your government. Gematria is a Jewish practice. There's not too many people in the world who are interested in Gematria. Most people have never heard of it. It's Jewish. And again, Jewish people are controlling your news and they're coding the headlines with Gematria. Doesn't that make sense? That's logic. That's common sense. So being aware of Gematria, it helps prove what is already known, what is common sense, but something that is not known to the majority of the people in the masses who don't really pay attention to anything in this world. They just kind of follow, do what they're told, never question. So anyway, this knowledge, it's to wake up those people, the sleepers, the people who are sleeping through life and letting tyrants rule over them with lies. You know, for most of the people sleeping, they say, who cares? Life's good enough. I got food, I got TV, I got a roof over my head, I'm alive. What they don't realize is how much better their world could be if they weren't ruled over by these assholes who want nothing but to control them and exploit them. For all of you who say this world's good enough, it could be better. So look, Gematria is also very important to Kabbalah, which is Jewish mysticism in numbers. It's the belief that numbers have spiritual power. They have significance. They have the ability to impact people. So the people who control your media, who have this spiritual belief, Kabbalah, they're coding their stories with numbers that have significance to them in this language of numbers. I'm not Jewish. I don't know anyone who practices Kabbalah. I figured this out by researching and applying the knowledge and proving it as I have done with over 10,000 submissions on my blog on this video channel, showing how news is coded again and again every single day. You know, 231 Hillary Rodham Clinton, I honestly cannot tell you what that means. But to these people who are doing it, they think it has a meaning. And, you know, what I wonder, what I'm still trying to figure out is, does this have a subliminal impact on people, making them essentially the zombies that they are? What I've understood about this nation since I was 18 years old is that the people around me are under a magical spell. They're zombies. They don't care about truth. They're blinded by the lies. They worship the lies. They hate the truth. I was 18 years old when September 11th happened. I was following the headlines, paying attention, not being duped by the deception perpetrated by the very Jewish media. And this very Jewish media puts out the truth, mocking the masses. Just months after September 11th, 60 Minutes on CBS every Sunday put out the episode of the dancing Israelis who were arrested and sent back to Israel. They said that they came here to document the attacks. Israel, our ally, people from their nation here to document the September 11th attacks. Doesn't that sound like an important news story? It was told to us on a weekend, and then it was pretty much brushed over forever. Meanwhile, we went to war with countries that had nothing to do with September 11th. Israel, Saudi Arabia, where supposedly all the hijackers were from, those are our allies. Those are the people who knew about September 11th. We give them money. We invade these other countries that have no relation to what happened with September 11th. Cave dwellers, Osama bin Laden, that's all boogeyman bullshit. The Bin Ladens, they're in this worldwide network. Powerful oil family, construction family. So anyway, some more gematria. Gematria equals 38, Kabbalah 38, Jew 38, Jewish, Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism, gematria, a Jewish practice. Here, in simple English gematria, Jewish, Masonic, Freemasonry, the Jewish faith, connected at the hip. Jewish, Masonic, English, gematria. And think about this nation, the United States of America, rolled out around the same time the English language was coming to be. Think about our birthday, 7-4, holiday, 74. The other interrelated method is English reduction method. Watch my How to Gematria video in the description. Both of these methods are dependent on the alphabetic order. Independence Day, the same thing as holiday. Alphabetic order sums to 74 like English and gematria. And there's so much more to this. So many more relevant numbers, words connected. Have a lot of information if you're new here. But again, for those of you asking, why is gematria important? The answer is it shows you who is responsible for steering us with lies every single day by the numbers. If you don't understand why that's important, you need to start thinking deeper in your mind. What's going on in the world right now? There are people, such as myself, such as you watching this, who are being ruled over by tyrants. From birth to the present, we've been lied to by this gang, by just about everything. These people control your media, they control your government, they control your education. All this time creating narratives to steer us for the sake of agenda. The powers that be, they don't want us to be critical thinkers. They want us to have a low enough skill set to get by and to contribute in their ongoing Ponzi scheme. Essentially, that's what we live in this world. A giant Ponzi scheme where what's needed from us is our participation in it. Believing in their fiat currency, which has no value, going out and working for them, slaving for them, paying taxes to them. We're like a mouse on a wheel, and I'm trying to get people to wake up and see how they're that mouse so that they'll stop running. Because if the wheel's not spinning, this gang can't operate. I saw that when I was 18. That's why I stopped running. Now I'm trying to get the rest of the world to catch up. In case you missed all the other videos that I put out on this, I put out a longer one yesterday and many more in the last year plus that the election's been going on. This woman who's front and center, her name gematria is 42, the number of the Freemasons. Freemason 42, lady 42, female 42. Bill Clinton was the 42nd president. Hillary was first lady to the 42nd president. In the time of Bill Clinton having sexual misconduct accusers, all of those women's names, the dates of the stories, all connected to the numbers 42 and 33, which are numbers of the Freemasons. Lately, Donald Trump's been having all of these accusers, starting 33 days before the election. All of these women's names summing to 33 and 42, just like the Bill Clinton episodes years earlier. It's no coincidence that this woman's name also sums to 42. The network that rules over us, these Zionists, these Freemasons, this is the code they abide by. By understanding this knowledge, you can see through them. If you've never seen the movie They Live, it's a movie where this guy gets sunglasses and suddenly he can see the truth. Gematria is pretty much the same thing, Pretty much the same thing. This woman right here who's front and center, she also has birth numerology of 40, as well as 58 like Freemasonry, all the numbers you see. Again, today's date, 40 numerology, her and Hillary, front and center, big story all day. So if that doesn't answer your why is gematria important question, you don't get it, I guess. I don't even know how people have to ask me that question, honestly, after all that I've put out. It should be pretty evident why gematria is important. I'm showing how the world of sports is scripted, news is scripted, how it's all scripted together by the numbers, all throughout history. We got to start thinking, people. We're not thinking. Until next time.